Good morning. Good morning. I'm happy to be here for this celebration, the Master Sotaesan's awakening and the founding of wonbuddhism. So it's great to see all of you. And whenever I visited Manhattan, I am reminded of one of the phrases that I read from monk Thomas Merton. Some of you, I assume you know, who loves Buddhism and who practice meditation. Thomas Merton's diary, he said, "World is in madness, but monks and practitioners' prayer and meditation, it's like spring in the desert." So Manhattan, whenever I visited, Manhattan from Philadelphia, so fast and so many people, and sometimes pretty rude, Yesterday I was looking the address and someone behind me, "Excuse me," and then just pass. So that's sort of, the environment. But last night I stayed overnight here, and this morning I attended sitting meditation with other ministers. Very calm and peace in Manhattan. So that's somewhat the beauty and core of the temple, I feel. So what I would like to share today with you is the significance of the teaching of Master Sotaesan, the founder of wonbuddhism. You can see his picture is here. And after he was awakened, about centennial, 100 years ago, 1916, he said his awakening is not just his solo awakening. He acknowledged the previous sages and saints, their awakening and their sharing. So after his awakening, he declared Shakyamuni Buddha, the Gautama Buddha who lived about 3,000 years ago, as his teacher. And he is delivering his teaching of wonbuddhism as fitting to 20th and 20th century of this era. So this era, everybody agreed, technological advancement and materially advanced kind of civilization. So within that 20th and 20th century era, he is somewhat upgraded Shakyamuni Buddha's teaching, fitting to this contemporary society. So I think contemporary society, we can feel science as a god. So science is omnipresent and omniscient. So in a sense, matter is primary and mind is secondary. I think somewhat that's how we see many of us. Probably you may not agree, but that's the prevalent kind of the message. And that happened, the deep root from the Western civilization, industrial civilizations, and then all those advancement. And what happened in the East, while West is modernizing and civilizing kind of material part, technological part, well, tradition of the East, especially the Buddhism, the focus was on mind. Mind is primary. Mind is, the foundation. And we just, usually you may chant Heart Sutra, I saw in your booklet, but today you haven't chanted together. The Heart Sutra has given that message very clearly. What East has focused and what East has worked. I taught about 4 years at the Gettysburg College, which is located in Pennsylvania. You know, everybody is familiar with Gettysburg Address, Lincoln, right? I taught there, and the first class of my Buddhism class, we read together Heart Sutra. Form is emptiness. The same is true of sensations, perceptions, impulses, consciousness. No eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind. No sight, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind. So we read together, and I'm checking, does this make sense? Most of the students says, so that means we are dead. But in the class, usually my class size is about 25, up to 30. If I have 5 students, yes, it makes sense. I know that class is very lively and very, discussions. But some class, only one student said it makes sense. That class will be very hard. So I was sort of checking every semester, read this and check kind of the class understanding level. So here, in the East, the focus was on the mind and how to deepen the inner mind and empty mind and no self. That was the kind of the focus of Eastern, the tradition. And now, 20th century and 21st century, the Buddhism, that focus is coming to the West, and then what's happening these days? Mindfulness is everywhere. Mindful tea, mindful eating, mindful yoga, mindful walk. So what is it? So we can see the meeting between East and West, and especially Western civilization, advanced, materially affluent, the society. We need the message, the mind. Peace of mind, calmness of mind, stability of the mind. So that's why I think in Manhattan, you are here today, Sunday morning. And one of the focus I am also thinking the very important piece of human civilization. That part, I think, the America has contributed a lot, even though we see a lot of issues and problems. That means equal human right, kind of humanness. The United States Declaration of Independence, there, the first kind of phrase is, we are equally created by or under God. And 3 equal human rights are declared. One is life. Human beings' life is valuable and everyone should be treated with dignity. And second is pursuit of happiness. Human beings deserve to pursue happiness. And third, freedom. Human beings should not be under bondage, should be independent and free unless there is a limit. So those equal human right was declared, and the third, the head Dharma master of wonbuddhism, he added one more human right. What he said, human is entitled to awakening. So Master Sotaesan, he was awakened. That's not his own solo privilege. Everyone is entitled to awakening, just like Master Sotaesan, just like Gautama Buddha. So here I would like to talk about awakening and humanness in a more fitting to our contemporary kind of necessity, following the teaching, the scripture of wonbuddhism. So the second one, under the Declaration of Independence, every humans deserve to pursue happiness. Here, the term happiness is not sensational or emotional kind of, the context. It's more like well-being, as a whole person, well-being. And so any human beings need to be well, healthy. And what do you mean well and healthy is integrated with spiritual and physical well-being. Mentally, psychologically, spiritually, we are well, and at the same time, physically, we are well. So how to integrate both dimensions, physical well-being and spiritual and psychological well-being. So spiritual well-being can be achieved by spiritual practice, mind studies. And physical well-being is obtained by health and proper occupation. So here, occupation, work, is very important for our physical well-being. So I would like to ask, would you read the scripture? So Master Sotaesan, he talked about for the well-being, essential dharmas for self-cultivation. It's in the scripture. So.
Devote yourself to the business of learning as appropriate to the times, so that you prepare yourself to all kinds of knowledge. Through cultivating the spirit, achieve peace of mind in keeping your proper balance. Do not neglect what is right, even in situations involving joy or anger, sorrow or happiness. By inquiring into both human affairs and universal principles, analyze the false and spurious, as well as the factual and true, and adjudicate correctly right and wrong, benefit and harm. When you are applying yourself, maintain heedfulness in making choices, and let your understanding and conduct conform to each other.
Thank you. So the condition of well-being he described. So in order to have the physical well-being, very important part is one should have a proper learning, proper understanding, proper knowledge, and proper occupation. So that's the first part. So mind is just only peaceful. That's it. That's not it. We need integration of body and mind. And in order to have that integration, the first part is proper learning and prepare oneself for professional kind of field. So that's one condition. And so that part, I think, each of you have your own specialties or professions. So I don't want to get into that piece. I'll focus on the the practice part, mind study part. So the three things: cultivation of spirit, inquiry, and choice in action, like triangle. Cultivation of spirit, inquiry, and choice in action. And cultivation of spirit. What do you mean, cultivation of spirit? Here, Mr. Sotaesan clearly says, keep the peace of mind, calmness of the mind, and stability of mind. And there, what are the obstacles? The obstacle is if we don't know our own proper bounds. Proper bounds. I think there are many proper bounds or limitations we should understand clearly. Again, we'll start with the financial situation. If income and expenses are not balanced and keep creating deficit, and credits are bad, that's the problem, right? So financial bounds, financial limits, we should be very aware. And next is similarly to physical bounds. Often, when we get older, we talk about, well, I feel like 30s, but my body is not 30s. So what will happen? Careless and fall, suffering, and my digestion is not like when I was young, I ate too much, problem. So here, the physical bounds, biological kind of health bounds, we have to understand. And also relational bounds. The parents and children's relationships. Parents were protector when they were young, and when they are, getting older, are more equal, peers. And parents get older, then actually children are helping and protecting. So if I know my bounds, as a parent, if I see myself all the time protector, that doesn't work. So that balance somewhat we can think about, we can see. And then emotions of joy, anger, sorrow, and happiness. Yes, humans are emotional beings. So we feel happy, we feel angry, we feel depressed, we feel sad. Because I'm sad, I don't do nothing. I don't go to work, I don't eat, and what will happen? Well, because I'm sad, I'm depressed. I think that's also we need to be very aware of. It's like emotions like waves. Deep sea. It has waves up, down, but those are waves. So beneath, stability, calmness there. So how can tap into the stability and calmness even when I'm excessively emotional? I mean, it's hard. Saying is easier, it's hard. But if I don't do, nobody can do for me. So here, cultivation of spirit is how to keep that, peace of mind. And in order to do that, we need to keep inquiring, and then once we see the path, then we have to do mindfully, do it. So sitting meditation, I don't feel like sitting, but if I decide to sit, I sit. So that's kind of action part. Much deeper studies, I think you will do here with Gyomunim and also among your congregations. I won't do, all deeper part, all the detailed part. And since you heard about the introduction, I have been worked at the One Institute of Graduate Studies, where your Minister Doyan graduated. And so One Institute of Graduate Studies has, the three programs, but our Director of Development and Marketing, I think he will more talk about institute part. But what I want to share here is One Institute. We are aiming to educate and train professional leaders. Professional leaders who are grounded in spiritual cultivation, self-cultivation, and serve the society with their professional knowledge and expertise. So here, One Institute voice is, all right, you study here, you'll have a good job, and bye. That's not the case. You come here, you cultivate yourself as a professional leader, and why you cultivate yourself? Because everyone else is obliged to serve the society. That's kind of we humans, based on the Buddha's teaching. We are all interdependent, all interrelated. So the professional leaders with the spiritual and self-cultivation and with professional knowledge and expertise serve the public, serve the society. I think that message we are kind of voicing to our graduate. And so somewhat these days, that serving the society, that part is quite fade away. Job, money. Yes, that's very important. But for what? So that larger picture we are sharing our students. And so according to the wonbuddhism teaching, self-cultivation is timeless Zen and timeless places Zen. In kind of a more popular word, mindfulness in everyday life. So mindful living, we are cultivating for ourselves, for our students, and then serve the society is selfless giving. One of wonbuddhism teaching is focusing selfless giving. And you may say, selfless giving? What do you mean? I think selfless giving is giving without projecting self-interest or controlling others. So we serve our publics. Our wonbuddhist ministers serve temple congregation. We have a program, acupuncture. Our acupuncture students, they are treating their patients. So while they are serving their patients, without projecting their self-interest, and see what's their needs, why they are here, how to treat them. So without projecting self-interest, selfless giving, we are really, we try to share our students. And I would hope that each of you as a professional kind of field, in your professional field, you can serve the public with a selfless giving spirit. And in order to do that, you cultivate yourself. Your self-cultivation and your spiritual cultivation, you continue. Then Master Sotaesan's kind of the vision, integrated whole beings and also integrated kind of the society is going to prevail. Thank you.